Hello everybody, welcome to a check that Starcraft 2 replay on the EU server with our hero today. He's Quagmire. Had him sent me in a game just a few minutes ago after our massive 3v3 against his Zerg opponent, DaC SacredTurtle. So we're gonna see what's going on. Pro going for the scout. Okay. Alrighty, let's move this right here. And let's move this right there. So already, unless this opponent was automatically random, which I doubt it, it said Zerg. For me, I put always, even against random players, I'll try to put it like a pylon on the low ground. Because against Zerg, you want to forge fast expand. Or at least gateway fast expand. So here it comes down for the... And there's the expansion. And the pro did not have time to block. But it's okay. What you're really looking for is the timing of this and the timing of the pool. So the pool is down at about 14. So about 14 hatch. So pretty standard right there. You know, drones right there. Again, when you start getting into higher, play, I'm not gonna say higher leagues because you know it all depends on how you perceive it. This right here is gonna hurt you early on. This was something that was good, like back before, you know. Oh, well, you know, maybe if I forge fast, get a cannon up, I can be on top of my macro with the Zerg. Well, you can. Now, as far as my style goes, you can go gateway first, chrono a few zealots, and then force them to build lings instead of drones. Because if you look at the income tab, pretty okay. Protoss should not be even with the Zerg, who's on 2 bases. So 2 evil chambers going down and a roach horn. And here's the problem that's going on. He scouted the Stargate. I'm sure of it. I'm sure he saw it. He saw something. But he knows it's tech and he only hides Stargates back there. Couple more gateways. I would love to see an expansion go down. You're floating a lot of minerals. I'd like to see an expansion, a pylon and an expansion go down. So that way you can get a forest, because you can make a wall off this ramp. Force them to come up to the ramp. Force field sections of the ramp, and then that way you can always keep going. What he's going to do now is your opponent's going to actually... is not going to scout. So, see his vision? He doesn't have vision of any of this. Now he is. He's like, oh, you're one basing. That should have came down a lot sooner. See, like this pylon here, if you put a gateway or a forge there, and then you could pretty much cut off most of that and have the Zerg. So that way you can go like that. Well, now he's taking his third, which he should have took his third knowing that you were taking your... knowing before that you're going to take an expansion. So, I mean, he should have probably been on 3 base already. Have a lot more units than what he has now, which is 10 Zerglings, 12 roaches against... and 1 Immortal, 7 Zealots, 4 Stalkers, and 5 Phoenix. Phoenix are actually doing a good job doing what they... So I like his Phoenix play. It works because, you know, he was figuring that his opponent didn't have much. The only problem with this play is that if your opponent decides to do a massive counter, when you only have Phoenix, it kind of makes it hard. But it was a nice, you know, you had your Robo right behind the Phoenix. I would say snipe queens and drones and snipe the drones and gas when you can. So there goes the dead drone or dead Zergling. So we're gonna go speed it up a little bit more. We're gonna, as we kind of look at the Phoenix do some damage. I mean, units lost tab shows that, you know, Zerg's lost so much. That's from these Phoenix being really aggressive with them. And this is where this army can get devastating. Look at this right here. All he has to do is say, I'm done with this. Because if he doesn't think you have an army backing this up, then he would be right, and you would be kind of screwed. Because if you can catch your Zerg opponent off guard with this, with Phoenix, it'll be, and it's done before the Roach Warren shows up. So see how he went to the third. Void Ray is a good touch. I'd actually put the Void Ray out there anyways. Force field the ramp, force field the ramp. There you go. Good force fields. Cutting off the ramp. Guardian shield. Another force field down. Lifting up the roaches. Oh my gosh. So that was a good move there. Taking the expansion, that's good. You might want to take out the Zergling before you take out the expansion. It's a good move to take an expansion after he just lost his army. So let him come to you. Go scout, and he's gonna go scout with his Phoenix. Here comes the next ball of units. Oh my gosh, this could be really bad. He might be out of position. Ooh, not a good force field. I mean, the Phoenix doing their best to lift, which is good. Saves the Immortal. Ooh, nice touch. I probably would have let that Immortal die, to be honest. Yeah, I would ignore that because he was going to cancel that anyways. I'd go up here and take that out. Use your Void Ray. And go in there and do what you need to do for damage. See? Problem is you don't have an army big enough to do this. So, as long as you keep building back here. And I'd stay up front for a little bit longer. Kind of contain. Also put an observer here and here. So that way you have vision of him always coming towards you. So Warp Prism going. And here comes the attack again. This time the Zerg had a better angle and has a better concave. So still, it's pretty good. Let's look in the production tab. 31 more roaches coming down, and Hydroden on the way. So as we see, he keeps repopulating his army. He's got no queen here. That's confusing. He's got a queen here, but not there, and no queen here. So I would say, oh, Warp Prism drop. I'd say a Warp Prism drop with DTs, because, you know, you only have the one Spore Crawler that's here, or a couple of Spore Crawlers. 3, but that's okay. So let's take a look at the upgrades. +3 attack and charge. I need to see armor on the units, because by now, you're +3, there you go. It's going to be kind of worthless. So, oh no, drop! Oh! Oh. The +2 armor is going to help out a lot. Yeah, I think, yeah. Well, at least your opponent did give a GG. Well played. You did really good with the Phoenix. I would suggest if you're going to do Phoenix play, cut Phoenix production probably around 5. Start teching towards Colossus or Archons, because you automatically know that he's going to try to roach you. And then you're going to want to forge fast expand, so that way you can actually get, you know, I mean, attempt a gateway if you want. Watch, again, I guess you could say watch the games I play and see how I do it. So you're going to go put a pylon either here or here. Gateway, forge, chrono boost out a couple, like 3 to 4 zealots minimum, and then send them up there. Just go ahead and A-click them up there. Keep an eye on them as well, and then try to snipe as best you can. And your goal is to make them produce an army and not workers. So, but you did everything else. Everything else was good. I think you needed either Colossi out, because what you want them to do is you want them to react the way you want them. You want to have them. They saw the starport. Most likely he would get Hydras. He saw one Void Ray or a few Void Rays. Then he's gonna get Hydras. So while he's getting Hydras, you should start getting Colossi. So the one Void Ray, if you had it kind of floating around a bit, kind of up and down in this motion, sniping overlords, and staying away from the bases, you know, the bases that you know that are gonna always be covered with spores, you could pretty much do a lot of damage and make them try to get you. So you're trying to force the Zerg to react the way you want them to react, so that way you have the counter to what they react. So his reaction was Hydras. And they're a great unit in mass. In small numbers, not so much. So if you had Colossi, they would do a lot of damage to all this. You would have done, this would have probably evaporated if you had like 3 Colossi. Just, you know, taking damage, especially on this ramp, especially with the force fields, you know. So, anyways, I think that's about it. Hopefully you do learn something. And again, this is fine. But I would recommend changing it to fast expansions. Because if you see your opponent do this, then you need to throw down yours. Or you need to have a wall up to do it. So, and it might take you a while. You're gonna probably lose a couple of games doing this, because there's timings that you need to do. So pylon on 9, gateway on 12, forge on maybe 13 to 14. So yeah. So I hope you enjoy it, and have a good day.